Hello and welcome back to another lecture from Organic Chemistry. In this lecture, I will be talking about the hydrolysis of some of the chemical compounds that we managed to get by using carbonyl functional group. And I want to know what will happen to them if I take any of those molecules and add it to diluted acidic solution. So imagine you take hydrate hemiacetal or acetal and you add it to a diluted acidic solution. Regardless what you start with, you will get such a molecule. You will have R attached to carbon attached to R, and now we will have a double bond between carbon and oxygen. So that means we're going to recover the starting carbonyl molecule. And again, or it can be a hydrogen or an alkyl group. Can I use a base in order to, for example, hydrolysis of acetal? The answer is no. Why? Because OR is not a good leaving group, and you cannot, like just simply add strong nucleophile like OH and like a hydroxide and get rid of it. And that's not going to happen. And because you need to take OR with a negative charge, somehow turn it to OHR. In that case, this one, if it's attached to carbon, it will have a positive charge, and now it can leave the system. But we know in basic solution, we are not going to have H plus there. And that's the reason we say the reaction cannot happen in a basic solution. It has to be an acidic solution. The mechanism for hydrolysis is exactly a reverse of the way we made those molecules. So I highlighted ketone, hemiacetal, and acetal. And if you remember, the way we got actually hemiacetal and acetal, we started with a carbonyl group, and the carbonyl group first, first we activated by adding H plus to it, and then we added alcohol, and now that we have alcohol, that's going to give us a hemiacetal, and now the hemiacetal, I can add another H plus to it, and that's going to facilitate taking OH out of the system and replace it by OR, and at the end I will get acetal. Now I can do exactly the same thing but in opposite direction, and that's going to technically take acetal, it will turn it to hemiacetal, and at the end it will turn it back to ketone, and that's the hydrolysis of the like any of those molecules. In case of amine and enamine, the process is similar to hydrolysis of molecules that I mentioned before. And the only thing you need to be careful about it is number of hydrogen atoms that you want to actually attach to nitrogen. And amine, we get it by using a primary amine, while enamine, we get it by using a secondary amine. And so if you see nitrogen attached to carbon through a double bond, that's an amine. But if nitrogen attached to carbon through a single bond, but is a neighbor to a double bond, okay, so that means one side, wherever actually we have nitrogen is attached to a carbon that is involved in a double bond, that means you are dealing with an amine. Okay, if you add them to the acidic solution, diluted acidic solution, and in case of the amine, you will get a carbonyl plus an amine, primary amine, while for enamine you will get a carbonyl plus a secondary amine. Okay, let's practice some example. And I have hydrochloric acid. I added to water, so technically we have acidic solution. And the next thing is I see nitrogen attached to carbon through a double bond. Nitrogen has a lone pair. So if you add H to the solution, the first thing that's going to happen, that lone pair is going to go after H plus. Now, what you need to do, just simply break the double bond and ask yourself, how many bonds are attached to nitrogen? Okay, how many bonds there? I have a sigma and a pi bond. So take nitrogen, and equal to number of the bond that you see, add hydrogen atoms. And remember, you do have a lone pair there. What else? We have an ethyl group attached to nitrogen. And other side, you will take the ethyl. Okay, ethyl is attached to this carbon, and now the carbon that's this carbon used to be attached to nitrogen. Now just simply attach it to a carbonyl group. And that means I'm going to have hydride, like an aldehyde molecule. Okay, remember, we do have hydrogen here, so I kept the hydrogen there. Now, the solution is acidic. And because it's acidic, this one is like technically the hydrolysis is not going to stop here. It will go one step more. And this one, the primary amine that we got, it will accept one more hydrogen or H plus, and it will turn to such a molecule. We will get the 3 hydrogen. Now that we have 3 hydrogen, the charge on nitrogen, it will be +1. And how about the aldehyde state as it is? Okay. Now, the second example, I have a nitrogen that attached to carbon that's involved in a double bond. So that's not going to be, imine. And this one is going to be enamine. Okay. And I see only one single bond between nitrogen and carbon. So I'm going to break that, single bond, and it will give me, okay, nitrogen attached to methyl, and then ethyl, and I said equal to number of bond that you break, you put hydrogen. So I put 1 hydrogen here, and there is a lone pair on nitrogen, so I'm going to put a lone pair there. And what else? And other side of the molecule, this one, okay, that one you're going to just simply show it as here, carbonyl attached to, okay, hydrogen. And how do I know that there's a hydrogen there? Because if I go after this carbon, I can see there is an H there. So I'm dealing with an aldehyde. Again, the solution is acidic, so I'm going to add H plus to it, and that's going to give me such a thing. Okay, so I will get ammonium molecule plus the aldehyde. And how about this molecule? I have only a single bond between nitrogen and carbon, and there's a double bond there. Again, we're going to go after this bond. We will break it, and that's going to give us nitrogen attached to 2 methyls. It has a lone pair, and I said equal to number of bond that you break, you will put hydrogen atom. So I'm going to add hydrogen atom there, and because it's acidic solution, it's going to accept 1 H more, and it will give me such a thing. So now we have a positive charge on nitrogen. Other side of the molecule, and wherever you broke the sigma bond, okay, take that carbon and just draw a double, a carbonyl group there. So I have, I'm going to have this cyclopentane, and the cyclopentane here, I will have a carbonyl group. And from the carbonyl group, if I start from here, 1, 2, 3, and the third carbon, I should have 2 methyl groups. So I go 1, 2, 3. I'm going to show 2 carbonyl group and 2 methyl groups, and that's going to be my starting compound. So technically, I'm going to get this as one product, and that's the second end product. And this is going to be the end of this lecture, and thank you very much.